Okay, so the world as we know it is being rewritten, and the author isn't human. AI isn't some sci-fi movie concept anymore. It's here, it's now, and it's changing absolutely everything in real time. In this explainer, we're going to follow the code from the server to the street and see exactly how it's rewriting our lives, our companies, and maybe even our future as a species. And this quote, man, it just nails it. 99% of the people you bump into on the street are underreacting and unaware. This is really our starting point because it captures this huge silent revolution that's happening right under our noses. This isn't just another tech fad. It's a massive seismic shift, and most of us are just feeling the little tremors without realizing the earthquake is already here. So, to really get a handle on the sheer scale of this thing, let's just cut through the hype for a minute and look at the actual data. Because the numbers, they tell a story of a technological tipping point that is frankly unlike anything we have ever seen before. Let's dive in. And right away, you see this incredible divide. Look at this. Only about 23% of the public feels optimistic about AI. But you ask the experts, the people actually building these systems every single day, and that number skyrockets to 73%. I mean, that's not a small difference of opinion. That is a massive chasm between the folks on the front lines and, well, the rest of us. And this just illustrates the insane speed we're dealing with. Think about it. It took decades for PCs and the internet to get into most people's hands. Generative AI, it hit 53% global adoption in just 3 years. This technology isn't just knocking on the door anymore, it's already in the house, and it's busy rewriting the blueprints. Now, this whole acceleration thing isn't happening in some kind of bubble. On the world stage, there's this really fascinating dynamic playing out. You've got the US building the biggest, most powerful models, basically the giant engines of this revolution. But at the exact same time, you've got China just dominating the academic research, pumping out papers at an absolutely explosive rate. It's like a race where both sides are running completely different strategies. Okay, so we've looked at the data, the charts, the insane growth. But what happens when all these abstract numbers start to become real? Like really real? This next part is all about the human reaction, that societal shockwave that hits when AI stops being a concept you read about and starts being a force in your actual life. And the debate, well, it's not just happening on Twitter anymore. The reaction is becoming physical. It's visceral. And yeah, in some cases, it's even becoming violent. People's anxieties are literally spilling out into the real world. I mean, just look at this. This is about as stark as it gets. The CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman, has had his home targeted not once, but twice. First with a Molotov cocktail, later by a gunman who actually fired shots at his house. The suspect was part of an online group whose whole purpose is to stop AI development. This isn't just a headline. It's the physical, tangible result of the deep fear a lot of people are feeling. But that fear, as real and extreme as it is only one side of the coin. Because for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? And on the other side of the shockwave, you've got innovation that is just as physical, just as real, and honestly, just as mind-blowing. Get this. In San Francisco, an AI they call Luna, opened a physical store. And I don't mean it helped someone open a store. The AI was the entrepreneur. It signed a 3-year commercial lease, it posted job listings, it conducted video interviews, and then hired a human store manager. It even picked every single product on the shelves, from the books to the snacks. This isn't a movie plot. It's happening right now. So this huge societal shockwave, this clash of fear and innovation, it's now forcing a much, much bigger conversation. We're moving past just reacting, and we're starting to actively remake our most fundamental systems, from the way we build a company to the actual infrastructure that powers our planet. I mean, take Jack Dorsey's vision for his company. He wants to completely flatten the classic corporate pyramid. Can you imagine a company with 6,000 people where every single employee reports directly to the CEO? How is that even possible? Well, the idea is to use an intelligence layer of AI agents to manage and coordinate pretty much all the work. It's a total reimagining of what a company even is. But this great remaking is starting to hit some very real physical walls. All of this AI needs a truly staggering amount of power and an incredible number of data centers. And, well, local communities are starting to push back hard. We're now seeing at least 11 different states that have put moratoriums in place, basically banning or pausing the construction of new data centers because they're worried about the strain on power grids and resources. And that pushback, it has a very real price tag, a whopping $98 billion. That's how much value in data center projects has been blocked or delayed by local opposition. This is the terrestrial bottleneck, right? The digital revolution's incredible thirst for power is running headfirst into the physical limits of our world. So, if planet Earth is becoming the bottleneck, where do you go? Well, for some, the answer is up. This quote here signals a huge pivot. We're going from the problems on the ground to the almost unbelievable solutions being built for orbit. And what we're seeing is a brand new space race kicking off. On one side, you have Amazon and Apple actually teaming up, buying an old satellite company just to get its hands on its rare global spectrum rights. Their goal? To beam service directly to your cell phone from space. And on the other side, you've got SpaceX's Starlink, which plans to launch over 40,000 next-gen satellites. This isn't just about getting faster Wi-Fi anymore. This is about building a global, off-world infrastructure for the AI age. And all of this, it brings us to our final and maybe most profound section. Because the changes we've been talking about, they're not just external anymore. This technology is creating very real forks in the road for humanity itself. It's forcing us to ask some really fundamental questions about who we are and, what we even want to become. The key concept here is something called human speciation. Now, that sounds like something straight out of science fiction, but it's a pretty simple idea. It's the theory that, for the first time, really since we split off from Neanderthals, we have the tools to consciously guide our own evolution. We can now, quite literally, create different versions of what it means to be a human being. And these aren't just late-night philosophical debates anymore. They are rapidly becoming actual choices. Will you take therapies that could let you live for hundreds of years? Will you choose to connect your brain directly to the cloud with an interface? Will you stay here on Earth, or will you become part of a species that lives on other planets? And then there's the ultimate choice. Will you stay biological at all, or will you upload your consciousness and live forever as pure data? So here's the bottom line. AI started out rewriting code. Then it moved on to rewriting our world, our businesses, our culture, everything. And now it's giving us the tools to rewrite ourselves. The great rewriting is no longer a question of if it's going to happen, it's a question of how. So the real question we have to ask ourselves is this. As we stand at this incredible fork in our own evolution, what kind of human will you choose to be?